Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you and enjoy the show.
We are out here and ready to go, I guess, here. So I did my due diligence, Mr. Harvey, and my internet is rolling, buddy. We
All
got,
right now.
man, I got up to 1.2 gigabyte speed. I mean, stuff is blazing through my daggone systems and stuff here and everything, boy. That fiber optic and stuff makes a hell of a difference and stuff between that old crap that they got on Comcast and everybody else out there.
So,
You get
so everything you got, you just stream everything, all your TV stuff and everything.
well, I've been doing that even before this, but with the fiber and stuff and everything, it's just and most of the people and stuff out there, if they have anything, a whole lot of stuff going on with the internet, if they go online to a web page and everything, you're gonna see that magic circle going around, that ring going around all the time. Well, with this stuff, there is no ring. When you click it, it's there. Wherever I go, it's there. This video, I can upload a 4 gigabyte data project, our film thing, our stuff that we got down there. I can upload it to YouTube in 2 minutes. It immediately goes. It's gone. I uploaded this. Oh, it's up there. There's no time wasted, no nothing. I don't have to sit there and wait until this thing slowly uploads everything. It just it's gone. That's the difference. Everything is transported by light, and the speed of light is pretty fast. So we're on it now, and I'm paying for it, but hey,
Well, I mean,
yes,
and you with AT&T?
yeah, I stayed with them, and they finally brought the fiber here into
Well, you
our
need to
thing.
call them and tell them, to pay for an ad.
Well, it looked like they took care of their regular customers who stayed with them for all these many years without the fiber optic. They took care of them first because they came out and did mine, and they did some of my neighbors and stuff who still had AT&T. Now the rest of the folks and stuff in our neighborhood who signed up for it and everything, they're not going to give them their stuff until next month. But we've already been established. Our account is there. All of our information is there. All of our services are there. So the only thing they had to do was just flip a switch. They flipped it from the old stuff to the new stuff, and it was there. So with the other folks and everything, they have to set them up with their own thing. They have to go to the major control center and stuff and set them up with everything they need and everything to get their stuff done. So I'm already there. So they got me going and sent the people out, sent my tech out. They sent out some representatives out, asked me what was going on, how do I like what was happening, and anything that they can do to help me through this whole process. And man, it was hectic at first, but at the end, it got real smooth. So the only thing they got left to do and everything is that when they bring the fiber optic out and everything, they have to put the stuff on the ground. So it's underground on the main lines, but to my home, they have to come out and take the line apart and then run some line and stuff under the ground so it doesn't lay on top of the ground. Only thing they got left to do.
What you got today, bro?
Huh?
What you got?
Man, I got a lot of stuff. I told you last night that I was going to go and check out Germany. And they got some crazy stuff going on there, man, as far as their legal system and their laws or whatever, and how they elect their representatives and how they elect their prime minister.
Yep.
It is nothing like ours. It's a democratic process, but it's not like man, it's one thing that I like about what they have research going on. A lot of their facilities and stuff, they deal in research. They concentrate a lot of their resources and stuff as far as the state and also their private businesses and everything on research, making sure that they're putting out the best product that they can put out. And because of that and everything, they are in the top 3 in the world as far as import and export on both sides. As far as how much they import and as far as how much they export. And most of the stuff they're exporting and everything is technology. They have some of the best technical companies and stuff in the world, and they concentrate on that. And their colleges and universities are free. They don't pay. The kids don't pay to go to college.
They got one of the top engineering schools in the whole world.
Mm-hmm. They don't pay, man. They do not pay for universities. And anybody who wants to go to a university, they have the ability to go.
Well, they have a tier system too, as far as how they allow certain people. Some people they guide to, what they call blue collar labor, and then those people that are more academically sound. They do a lot of testing for these kids, and those that excel, then they keep an eye on them, and then they move them up to and recommend certain schools for them to go to because they're exceptional.
Well, I really like that. They like I said, their political system and stuff and everything is, man, this is whew.
But where do they really make their money?
They make their money on their industry. They have the car industry and stuff and everything makes their money, and they also have a lot of agricultural stuff going on. They've designated something like 30 or 40% of their land to agriculture. I couldn't. It was unbelievable what they did, and their urban areas and stuff only occupies, they say, what, about 14 or 15% and stuff of their land mass. That's it. Each one of their counties or however they divide them up and everything into whatever has their own capital. So if you go into one part of the country and stuff and you in this particular county or whatever, that county has its own capital. And they do their own governing and stuff and everything. And then they send people to Berlin and stuff and everything for the big folks.
Something similar to Canada and Switzerland, all of those. And I think this is what these people that's running the government now, they want each state to be separate.
Mm-hmm. Well, they do. They have that separate. They are separate, but they also have representatives that they send to the parliament that you might call a parliament, but they have another name for it. It's a German name. I can't pronounce it.
But think about what a lot of these other countries, what they do within their country, and think about where we're headed. Because there are a number of skirmishes that's going on right now with Florida, Texas, California, Arizona, and New York, and a lot of these, because we are a different type of a nation, because we are immigrant friendly, ethnic groups friendly. What I mean by that is that we accept everybody and everything. However, when you look at Switzerland, their percentage of YT people, white folks, is 85, 90% or more. Same thing with Germany. So they don't have that integration thing. But if you look at where we're going or where it is now, you got certain parts of our country right now is 95% white, 85% white. They know exactly what percentage of Black people, Latino people, and others are in each state. And the majority of the country is white folks in those different places. The highest places that we have Black people is in Mississippi, Florida, Texas, Illinois. So if that's the route they're going, then because now, it used to be once upon a time, the most Black folks now is in the South. Majority of Black people right now is in the South. Georgia, Florida, Mississippi, Illinois. So you don't even have 1 million people in California right now that's Black. But you got about 3 million that's Black in Texas. So to me, Germany, that's an easy out for them to do what they do. But I thought their main resource, like you said, was research. But I always thought that they were more of a pharmaceutical type country. They do a lot of drugs.
Yeah. And all while we're talking there, I was in my I had a lot of stuff going through my mind that yes, there are quite a few and stuff, and where we are concentrated and stuff at. If you look talking about going north of the Mason-Dixon line, at most of the major cities like Chicago and Detroit, Cleveland, uh, New York City, uh, Charlotte, North Carolina, here in Atlanta and stuff. You got folks concentrated here in Atlanta, and then you go down further south there in Georgia and stuff and everything. You're looking at Macon and Columbus and Savannah, Valdosta. But in those middle parts of this country and stuff, in part of this state anyway, you see Black folks and stuff there, but most of them don't represent themselves. They don't exercise their political strength at all. And we thought that in 2020 and 2019 that we were like on the cusp and stuff of the demographics and stuff between the white and people of color and everything were going to change, that there were going to be more people of color here in this country, whether it's yellow or red or brown or black or whatever, were going to surpass your Caucasian Anglo-Saxon population. And they really have. Is that has happened, but there is no concentration of power and stuff within those different color groups and stuff. Your black folks, your brown people, your yellow or whatever, or your red folks. There's no exercising of their power. So because of that, we're still in a minority, you might say. I don't know how
Well,
we're gonna. I don't know how
what
we're
you
going
just
to.
said is absolutely true. However, this is just my take. I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. When you have these different groups that you just mentioned saying that we were going to take over, because really, when you look at it, it's about 42-3% of others besides the white Anglos. They have convinced these other minorities that they're white and we black. That's why you had so many Latinos who think they white vote for Trump. And you got these Indian people from Pakistan and India and all those kind of people. They think they're white because that's the big boogaboo here in America. If you black, you just a slave. You come from slavery. But then in their country where they came from, most of their families came from slavery or some kind of financial hardships and what have you. But they come here, they like to think that they're better than us. And besides that, they're jealous of us too. They're jealous of our culture, they're jealous of our athleticism, they're jealous of even our smarts. So to unify, this is what the goal was. Jesse Jackson, the Rainbow Coalition, to bring all the people together. But they have infiltrated and sabotaged and poisoned these people's minds like we are their enemy. So and that's the way it is now, bro. I mean, you got black women right now saying that, hey, we're done with you. I don't know how they're gonna make it. They make a coalition with black men and whoever else, want to be on their side or our side or whatever, how you want to phrase it. But the sad part about it, what you just said earlier, everybody thought that there would be a good coalition with all these other minorities and working for political power as well as financial power. But it's every dog for himself now. Think about it. Correct. Well, well, I think she has. I think she has. But here's the thing, though, Ed. Anybody can run.
Everybody can what?
Anybody can run.
Yeah.
This is a free country. At least right now, it's free. So think about it. If she's going to run the next 4 years, she should still have about a couple $100 million left. They still trying to raise money. You told me that. So now the money that she's got in her coffer, she's got to start laying out the work right now and start running right now. She can't wait and say, okay, 2 years, I'm getting ready to run. She's got to start running right now. That means doing little small venues, talking to people, going to people, neighborhoods and communities, all of those things. Using that money to get people to walk the street and explain exactly what her plans are and what she's going to do. She got to start right now and program these people's minds and convince them that she's on their side. Because the big thing with her was people didn't trust her. Oh, she's just saying that just to get our vote. She ain't gonna do nothing. So that's the whole thing. And these Democrats got to do the same thing. Those people that's in office, they got to stop using their money for whatever they use it for and start using it to go into these communities and build up your coalition. You should have. You had over 70 million people vote for you. So that means half the nation wanted you. But you gotta get more people than that because they say 20, 25 million people didn't even vote.
Yep. Yep.
So there it is right there, bro. Roland Martin did a thing the other day. He had the numbers, and he said in Atlanta and in Georgia, only 58% of the black folks voted. They voted higher for Biden. So there it is right there, bro. When people don't vote, then there you go. People
Well,
just stayed at home.
if you remember what I said earlier, about 3 shows ago, that they did an interview with this business guy who was black, who was in Atlanta, and he said that he did not vote. But he said that it was okay that Trump won. He said it was okay. It's okay that he won. And
See how you feel like that in 6 months?
I think he will. Because we have to understand and stuff, Ted, why he said what he said and why he didn't vote, because that sentiment and stuff has ran deep into our community and stuff down here in the South, that women are third-class citizens. They don't want no woman running them and telling them what to do. And man, that stuff, that sentiment and stuff, Ted, run deep here in the South. I'm telling you, man, it runs deep here in the South. Where she needs to get those black folks and stuff out to vote. It runs deep. And how you get past that, I do not know. The only way that I can think of how to do it and stuff is that she's going to have to convince, she got to convince an electorate that has ideals that are kind of productive to her as a person. Like we just talked about yesterday, how we have the Hispanic community, the Spaniards, and that they are Catholic, and their religion and stuff says that a woman is beneath the man, and it is ingrained in them. She is not capable of leading. It is ingrained in them, so they're not going to vote for her because she is a woman. And a perfect example is look in Arizona. They put Gallagher into the Senate. They voted for him. They didn't vote for her. He's a Democrat. She's a Democrat. They didn't vote for her. But they voted for him. He's right now, come January when they get their thing together, he's going to be in the Senate.
Same thing in North Carolina.
Yeah. Look at North Carolina. You got a Democratic governor sitting there. He got another Democratic governor there. They overrode her and voted for him. He's Democrat. How is she going to bridge that? How is she going to make that? That is going to be her problem.
Something she's going to have to figure out, bro.
She got to figure that out. That's what I'm saying. She got to figure it out. If she doesn't figure that out and get that thing to take care of, it is not going to happen again. Okay. What else, man? Hey, Ted. You said something yesterday, man, but I don't believe that you really realized what you were saying at the end of the show.
What did
I say? And it bugged me, man, for a while after the show was over. It bugged me for a while after the show was over.
What I say?
Yeah, man, it bugged me for a while. And I did some real soul searching and stuff and everything, about that. You said something about why we are doing what we are doing. Right at the end of the show. Why we are doing what we are doing. And I think after the election, man, I lost sight of that. I really have, man. After November 5th, I lost sight. I'm telling you. I was out in the wilderness, man. I was out in the wilderness. And I don't think you realized it and stuff when you said it and stuff and everything, but it shook the old baby boy up, man, real good. Do you remember what you said?
Man.
It was at the end of the show, Ted. Your final word at the absolute end of the show. When you said what you said, I mean, you got really downright and serious. And I'm pretty sure you didn't think I was listening to you, but I was. And I mean, you hit a serious nerve and stuff there about why we are doing what we are doing.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is, bro. Hey, let's switch gears.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna get too personal, but I'm gonna say something personal. When I first came here to Florida, I had some decent offers, coming from LA, but they weren't paying no money, so I turned them down compared to what I was making.
Mhm.
I'm thinking, man, what's wrong with these people? I wasn't even aware this is what they was paying. I said, these cheapskates. At the time, I'm sitting up there, no, I ain't taking that. What? No. So I had to get a job. So one of the jobs that I got was one of those jobs where they call them workforce staffing type people. You temporary worker, right? And so I said, well, I'll do this, until I find something better. I can be looking at something else, because eventually I did do that, and I ended up working for the bank, B of A. And the company that I worked for was the post office.
You work for the post office?
Joe did.
Doing what?
Customer service. And, so I was doing that, but I wasn't working for the post office. It was an outside
Did you was a
agency.
contract person? You was a
Yes,
contract person? Oh, okay, go
contract
ahead.
person. Because they asked me, they moved the company to Kansas, and they asked me, did I want to go? I said, no, I don't want to go. I'm living in Florida. So anyway, to make the bottom line is, I started thinking about that. Do you know the workforce for these people is over 13 million people? 13 million people do not really work full time for the company they're working for. They're just temporary workers. And think about that. And I can almost guarantee you 50% of them, if not more, are Black folks. Because a lot of these companies, that's what they do. They hire these agencies so that they don't have to pay them all the bennies. You don't get the benefits. You don't get the benefits. Now, some of these agencies, they have gotten so slick. Now they even offer certain benefits that you can pay for. Like your health care and that kind of thing. But the bottom line is, you don't get the holidays with pay. You don't get your days off when you have a day off with pay. Or you don't get any sick days and all that kind of stuff. So you sitting there working for a company who hires people into their company, but you don't get all the benefits that these other full-time people make. All you're doing is just making a check.
Mhm.
You ain't even getting no accolades for all the work that you do.
Mhm.
If you're doing a great job, then you can, where's my promotion? You ain't even got full time yet, bro.
Mhm.
you ain't even working for the company. So I said that to say this. This is what the corporate world, in order to save money, they get temporary people. They have their full-time people that they can rely on, and people that they can come up with ideas and be creative and then they use these temporary people just to work because they got to get stuff done. And they use their full-time people for, supervisors or blah, 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 whatever, And so what I'm saying is, why does this matter?
It
Well,
matters. Go ahead.
The reason why it matters is that if you ever looked at a corporation, like the Fortune 500, if you ever look at the Fortune 500 list, and they will tell you how many people work in the United States, how many people work overseas. Now, one time I did a little study on AT&T. Oh, no, it was General Electric.
Mm-hmm.
General Electric has, at that time, I don't know how many they have now, because, they are conglomerate. They was really a big conglomerate. They didn't tow some of it down now, but they was a big conglomerate, bro. They had 10 or 15 different kinds of businesses, and they was all over the world. They had 150,000 people working here and 150,000 people working overseas. Now, out of those 300,000 people, how many people were temporary workers? And not only that, because they was overseas, that was 150,000 jobs that wasn't here in America.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go down the list of these Fortune 500s, they claim, oh, we got 250,000 people working for us. We got 100,000 people working for us. We got this and that. And if you look at the breakdown of all of the companies, you can see a lot of them work overseas. And a lot of them are working for agencies. They're not even full-time with the company. And that means you will never get to that $150,000 a year to move up because you work in an agency.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they hold people back.
Well, I think, Ted, you have to find the lemonade in that lemon, and the lemonade and stuff in that lemon could mean a lot to you. It could be a gateway into understanding what this particular company who you've been contracted to work for, and these people are contracting you to go in there to work for them. So what's stopping you as one of their contract employees and stuff and everything to turn around and figure out that they only being contracted for a certain job or whatever, or a task and everything within that company, but because you're working inside that company, you understand that they also need some other things and stuff done. So what's stopping you then from saying, okay, they're going to need this also. So, and I'm already working here as a contract person, and once my contract is up, I'm no longer obligated to that company who put me into this position. So I'm sitting there with these folks and stuff who are in charge and everything, and they know my work. And I turn around and say, hey, I want a contract and I can do this other job and everything and stuff for you because you've seen what I can do. So sign a contract with me now so I can do this other job.
Well, that's all
And
fine and good, Ed. That's individual.
right, it's individually.
I'm talking about the masses, because
well,
you can work for a company on a staffing temporary and all that, and that's true. But I'm talking about, okay, now the industry, this is 36% of staffing employees work in industrial occupation. These are temporary workers. Administrative, 24%. Office clerical work, administrative roles. Professional managerial, 21% staff and employees work professional management occupations. Engineering, information technology, and scientific, 11%. They do IT, scientific fields, engineering. Healthcare, 8% of staffing. That's a lot of people, bro.
But you're not going to change to what these companies and stuff are doing. My point and stuff to that is that these companies are not going to change. They decided that this is how they want to run their business.
Well,
So
that's not the issue I'm
yeah,
trying to make here, because people can do what they want to do,
okay,
and they
right,
can hire temporary, and because they're trying to save money and keep the costs down. That's the reason why they go overseas a lot.
right.
But the
Go ahead.
point is that the thing that the reason why I brought up, just to let people know, don't work for temporary unless you can't do no better. Like me, I mean, at the time, I didn't want to work full time at that kind of pay until I found me a better job. And then I ended up getting one, believing that I was going to get one, and I got one, working directly for the company. But this is what these corporations do to people that don't have the kind of education I had or the abilities I had. I had the option of going other places. I just needed a paycheck. But those people, that's their livelihood. You got people right now that's been in temporary service and maybe even worked for that company for 10 years.
And that was what I was trying to adjust and stuff when I said what I said. That if this is going on in whatever company you have out there, and they're sitting there and they're working in these temporary jobs and they want something permanent or they want to make more money because obviously you thought that when you came to Florida and they offered you this crap job and
It wasn't a crap
you
job. It
turned
was a professional. Both jobs were professionals. One
well,
was working for a TV station, the other one was working for a newspaper.
but
They
they
just
weren't
wasn't
paying.
paying the money that I was
Right,
accustomed to.
right. They weren't paying you. So you went and took a temporary position and stuff with a company who was contracted to work for the post
But
office.
you know what I'm saying is, all I'm saying is that it is what it is. But what I'm saying to what I would like to say, and hopefully people understand what I'm saying, that temporary job is not going to lead you to much of nothing, because the main thing is you have to work directly for that company. Then you get all the bennies what that company offers you. Plus, they have hiring guidelines. They have to hire certain people. They have to do all of those things. But when you work for a temporary, they don't care if you don't come tomorrow, because they're going to put another temporary in my place. That's all I'm saying. Because, that's just the way it is. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's move on, bro.
Because I got some different views about that. But go ahead. We're gonna go head on. I got some different views about that. Go ahead. What you got?
I got Brazil.
Oh, I got one other question here. You mentioned that a couple of weeks ago that the U.S. Senate was running through these nominations and stuff and putting these folks into positions and stuff that they were uh, that was going to
Lifetime
last past,
appointments.
right, that was going to last past that. Well, for some reason or another, I'm finding out that they stopped.
Why?
Dick Durbin, uh, who is the I guess the leader of this particular judicial committee and everything, has stopped confirming folks.
Why?
He didn't say, but he has stopped.
Maybe he got threatened.
He
That's
did
what they
not
do now.
say. And they blasted him out and stuff and put his name out there. Said, well, what is wrong with Dick Durbin? He's got the majority of there in his particular committee and stuff, judicial committee that he's in charge of, but he has stopped confirming people.
They approved over 200 already. And
I understand that.
They was trying to reach, I guess, up to 300. And when the word got out, because the senators, because I heard Hannity talk about it, y'all need to get back to Washington, D.C. and blah, blah, blah. So that he got threatened, bro. That's probably what it was,
Well, he's the chairman of that committee, so why should he even be worried about it? Because come January the 5th and everything, he is no longer going to be the chairman of that committee. So he got a very,
Hey,
very short time span.
they might have threatened his wife. They might have threatened his kids. You don't know, bro. We don't know.
I
I'm
don't
telling you,
believe
bro, these people are vicious. This ain't no joke, man. These people want total power. They want to destroy this country and make it anew. They want change. Whether it hurts them or not, they don't care. Now, I'm not saying that he stopped because of that, but that's just my opinion.
I'm going to do some more research on that to find out why he did what he did and why he stopped. Was it something that
Call
they
him
could?
up.
Was it something that they could do
Call him up.
when they get in where they can stop? No, I'm going to do some research and find out. There's something out there because he's under a lot of pressure now. I know some Democrats are out there beating him over the head now. He doesn't. I don't think old Dickie boy. I've never known him to back down from a fight. He's always been
One
a
of the
tough guy.
best senators ever. One of the best senators ever. Let me say Brazil.
Go ahead.
Brazil is the largest country in both South America and the Latin American region. So I did some videos, YouTubers, and did a little research on this country. 214 million population. And their ethnic groups are Portuguese, Italian, Spanish, German, African, and indigenous people. Now, 64% of the people in Brazil are Catholic. Another 22% are Protestants. Their GDP is $2 trillion, but their per capita is only $9,600. That means you got a lot of people that's poor, living off of chump change. The main export is soybeans. We talked about that because of what America did to China. Iron ore, crude oil, and coffee, and automobiles. They have a federal republic, and we know their president because we talked about they tried to assassinate him. And they do have a legislature, Congress, and Senate. So Brazil, when you look at them, their main thing is their culture is vibrant music, dance, art, and the carnival celebrations. So when you look at this country, they have a main thing that's in this area. It's called the rainforest, the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest, bro, gives 20% of the world's oxygen.
I know. And they're cutting it down so fast now. It's dropping.
This particular, here's the thing. This Amazon rainforest is amazing. Over almost 100,000 plant species, including thousands of types of flowers and trees and vines. They got 1,500 species of birds, 3,000 types of fishes, and one of their main things is tarantulas, which is, they have over 3,000 of those. 400 distinct indigenous communities. And 15% of our fresh water for the world comes from there. And this is the reason why they had that G20 in Brazil, because people are concerned about the rainforest. And what's shrinking? Why is it shrinking? So the Brazilians are in that area, and it's just not there in Brazil. It surrounds a number of other countries, but the bottom line is that $2 trillion, man, their GDP is more than Russia. Now somebody is making some money there. Somebody's they doing something there that they're not doing that much farming, are they? They're not doing that much making cars, are they? $2 trillion? That puts them in the top 20, 15 in the world. 20, top 20 in the world. So where's that money? Where's they getting all that GDP? $2 trillion.
Corruption.
I'm just trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out where are they getting this money? Because imports and exports, and half of their people there, or more than half of their people, are living in poverty.
Right. Corruption.
Where are they getting the money from, man?
Corruption.
I can't figure it out.
Corruption.
And
Why
what?
do you think? Why do you think that they tried to kill the current president?
I don't know.
Corruption.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, why we have a coup here?
What?
Why did we have a coup here? I mean, that's all you can say. The reason why.
He has a lot more protection here than they do in other countries. They have a lot more protection and stuff going on. The Secret Service is bound and honored and stuff to protect him, even though he's corrupt. Even though he's a criminal, they're bound. That's their thing. They're bound and honored to do that. But in Brazil and stuff, you have an unstable government there, and this man who just left office is corrupt. They want to kill this other guy so he can get back in office. They had already tried twice already through when they had the election and stuff. The last time they had the election and stuff, they had to have a recount, all kinds of stuff and everything. So this other guy who in there now can become the president. She tried to steal the election, and the people wouldn't allow him to do it. So I guess they said, "Well, we can't do that. We're gonna kill this rascal."
Okay, well that right there is political. That's politics. That's trying to get power so that you can run the nation.
There's
but
money,
I'm trying to figure out where in the heck are these people How is their GDP so large? $2 trillion? Where's that money going? Who's getting paid? Because they show the people are not making the money.
Corruption.
But the money got to come in, Ed. Where the money coming in from? What they selling? What they making?
Ted, you can have corruption going on, and corruption means that there's a lot of money going on. Almost like, well, I ain't gonna even talk about that part of it and everything. You have banks and stuff there in Brazil. They have a lot of money coming through there and stuff and everything. That these people are laundering their funds. All this corrupt money. It we're not going to talk about that right now. We're not going to talk about who. Yes. There's money being laundered and stuff through those banks and stuff there because it's an easy place to go ahead and have that money coming in. Very easy. I don't want to get anybody that I know and stuff in trouble because they kind of told me about it. So, and they were involved in it. So I'm not going to say it's too much. But there's a lot of corruption going on. Anyway, we need to talk about this Amazon rainforest some more, Ted, because if I'm not mistaken, that Brazil only has a certain portion of the Amazon rainforest going through their country. Aren't there some other countries and stuff who have the Amazon rainforest coming through their country other than Brazil?
I said there were other countries too.
Yeah. So Brazil doesn't.
Know them, I can give them to you.
Yeah, because if I remember correctly and stuff and everything, they had something going on. I'm trying to think of what the heck it was, but the Brazilian army or something and everything came in there to put down some kind of a revolt and stuff going on there in the Amazon forest or whatever. But they had to stop because they whoever it was and stuff ran into another country and stuff, and they could not pursue that enemy and stuff into that other country. I'm trying to think of what the heck it was, but I remember that they were commissioned and stuff. The government and stuff asked them to go into that rainforest and stuff and everything to do something, and they had to stop. They couldn't pursue that, whoever that was, the guerrillas and stuff, because they had went into another country.
Well, the Amazon rainforest spans across 9 countries, South America, including Brazil, Peru, Colombia, Venezuela, Ecuador, Bolivia, Guyana, and I can't even pronounce this one, Suriname, and French Guiana. So that's a bunch of countries.
Mm-hmm.
5.5 million square kilometers, or 2.1 square miles, which is roughly 40% of South American continent.
That's a lot.
So
that is a lot.
So the bottom line is what you said, but people are probably going into these places and getting these rare birds and rare fishes and doing all kind of stuff. But I'm still trying to figure out how they making $2 trillion, bro, in their coffers. You mentioned banking, and the only bank that I'm aware of is Banco do Brasil. You got the Brazilian bank. So I don't know, bro. And a lot of these companies, consumer goods and retail, I have never even heard of. And these they got technology companies and telecommunication companies I've never even heard of. So they must be, because close to the continent of Africa, they must be doing business with Africa.
They doing business with a lot of folks.
But here's the thing. I just found this out today. 600 million Africans do not even have electric.
That's
They live in
probably
the
true.
dark.
That's probably true.
600 million. Now, what does that tell you? That's an opportunity. That's an opportunity. So people look at, how can I make some money so I can get these people lights, electricity? Just the money is not there right now. Think of all those cities that don't even have lights. They live in the dark. And they probably got makeshift or patch electricity certain places, but for the most part, they don't have like across the nation, across their country, or across their city.
Well, when I visited Ghana, the people and stuff that I visited and stuff with took me out to visit the castles. And we drove for probably 100 some miles and stuff through little villages and stuff. And I guarantee you those little villages did not have electricity in the country of Ghana.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm thinking right and stuff and everything, if anyone who is not within those major cities and stuff, either in Nigeria or Ghana, any other countries and stuff, those countries do not provide any kind of electricity and stuff outside of the borders of those major cities.
There it is.
Yep. Anyway, Ted, final word. We are way past our time. Go ahead.
Well, earlier in the show, you was talking about certain things. How we're going to change certain things. And I was shaking my head. Is it too late? No, because see, there is a God. But let me say this. When you have over 800 billionaires in this country, I'm going to say it again. We have over 800 billionaires in this country that can dabble their money anywhere, wherever they want to. They can support any kind of cause that they want to, whether it be positive or negative, because they can throw their money away like that because they know they're gonna get it back 3 times fold. So they have these so-called billionaires, not all of them. I'm not talking about all of them. They have agendas, bro. They have agendas to keep making that money because they have a cause and certain things that they want to make money off of, they'll cause a chaos or whatever. Because people will do anything, almost anything for money. That's just the way it is. And if you got the money, I mean, what is $5 or $10 million or $20 million to them? Nothing. You give somebody $100,000, $200,000, bro. Say, I want you to start this organization for this and that and blah, blah, blah. Give me 5,000, 10,000 people under your program. Boom. Shoot, $200,000 a year. And don't worry, I'm gonna fund you. It's $5 million a year. get yourself an office and some customer service people or whatever. Come on, bro. You got these billionaires, bro. They scheming, just like you just said earlier. I asked you, why is Musk still at Mar-a-Lago? Scheming. These people, man, you know, Ed, there's no way I want to be a billionaire if I gotta be evil.
Well, there are you will know some rare atmosphere there because there's a whole lot of folks out there, Ted, would love to do evil right now because they want their stuff right here on Earth. They're not waiting till that pie in the sky. They want their stuff right now, and they will bargain their life away for it. And they're doing it every day. It's hard to believe.
That's
It's
the
hard to
bottom
believe
line,
that.
bro. You know, I mean, and they don't care if you know it. They don't even care if you know it.
Yeah, I'm still in a dilemma, Ted, in how we get across to our brothers and sisters and stuff on there who are of lighter color than I, but they still the white folks, slaves and N words or whatever. And I want to know and stuff and everything what that we can to bring them together and stuff so we can become a force to reckon with. Some force and stuff that the other side is going to have to deal with at some point in time. Because I'm still looking at that rot, and I know we just can't keep that stuff going. And some kind of way and stuff, we're going to have to figure out how to deal with this. And I still want to find some kind of way to doing it. And I know it's rough, and I know that the other side and stuff they have used that against them, and you and I both know that they're still looking, even though they're trying to look at themselves as being white. As soon as they see them and everything, they know they're not, so they're going to treat them just as bad. But in their mind, they got to pass, as we used to say. Remember when we were coming up in younger days, we had all our light skinned folks and everything that they wanted to pass, and pass us right. So they tried to pass and process their hair and everything so that they could pass. So they doing the same thing that we did. 40 years ago? I tried to pass because we wanted to be white. We gonna dye here. We gonna put some cocaine in our head because we want to be white. They doing the same thing. But eventually they will realize and stuff. They don't care what happened. They ain't gonna change their skin color, and they ain't gonna change that you Hispanic, and they're gonna treat you just as bad. And I'm sitting here today and stuff, here wondering and stuff how this vice presidential candidate who got this Indian wife sat there and watched him denigrate her folks, and she never said a word. She got children by him. Never said a word. She's quiet. Never opened her mouth. So I guess that's how they do it. They just sit there and just take it so they can get ahead. Anyway, people, we have a lot to say, people. We have a whole lot to say. So we're going to see you guys and stuff tomorrow and do our thing. Because we can't give up, Ted. No way we can give up. We can't. We got to do it. And I'm just waiting, man, on this inauguration and then see how many fools gonna be sitting out there watching this man take the oath of office. That's gonna tell the tale.
You remember the last time he took the Oval Office and he went out and said a
and
speech?
and lied about how many people were out there. Yeah.
Well, a lot of, when you listen to his speech, and I can remember it, I can't even imagine, and I'm going to be nice, the bullshit that he's going to be talking after he received his turnover. I can't even imagine the bullshit. He gonna have so much bullshit in this speech, and what he gonna do to America because he think he had a mandate.
Oh yeah, he thinks that. That's why I'm wondering how many people are going to be sitting out there in that mall out there and watching the inauguration. How many of them are going to be sitting out there watching that crap?
Well, because Biden is a nice guy, he gonna be there. His wife is gonna be there. He gonna be there, and of course, the VP gonna be there. Now the question is Obama and Clinton, are they gonna be there? Is the Bushes gonna be there?
We shall see. We shall see.
This is November. We still got what, 2 months?
Yep, just about these. Well, not really. Well, yeah, you're probably right. It's almost 2 months because he's not going to be inaugurated until January the 20th.
So and all the votes haven't been tallied yet.
I know they still got 2 races in California that haven't been decided yet. Congressional races.
So
Yeah,
there
I
it
saw.
is, bro.
Yep,